It's the start of a new era for garbage collection in Thunder Bay as automated pickup begins for some residents. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Benazzo. The city's new wheeled garbage carts officially went into service this morning. Solid Waste and Recycling Manager Jason Sherban says the transition has gone smoothly so far. Justin Hardy followed one of the new trucks today and joins us in studio. Justin, what did you see?
Ryan, I saw a great increase in efficiency. For the most part, each stop took only a few seconds for the truck to pick up the bin, dump it, then return it to its proper place. There were a few hiccups with some bins facing the wrong direction, forcing crews to stop and exit vehicles to avoid causing damage. But that issue appeared to be mainly user error. It's important to follow directions on the bins and make sure they're placed correctly. Roughly a quarter of the city has been converted to the new garbage collection system, meaning they must now use the carts that were delivered a month or so ago. The new bins go hand in claw with the new trucks that are also now put into service. This updated system is designed to make the whole process much more efficient, according to Solid Waste and Recycling Manager Jason Sherban.
You don't know what you don't know, I like to say, right? So, but I certainly we're certainly pleasantly surprised what we're seeing so far. That's credit to the staff of embracing it and getting out here and wanting to do a good job. But what I would say is so far so good, and hopefully this continues as the week goes on.
As with any new or revamped service, there were a few hiccups on the first day. The most common was caused by bins being placed on the curb backward. This caused some of them to get stuck against the truck or tipped over, which meant crews had to exit the vehicle to right them. Sherban says it's important to make sure the bins are put out properly.
First and foremost, every cart that we delivered had an information kit with it, so we really encourage people to look over that. Similar to the recycling cart in terms of how it's put out, but we certainly want people putting the arrows to the curb, making sure the lid is closed. Just some simple things that, make it easier for staff, right? And minimizing the amount that they get out of the truck is always important.
Households who have not yet received a new bin can expect one in the spring of 2026, when the rest of the new garbage trucks arrive and the other 75% of the city is brought online. Justin Hardy, TBT News.
A pair of schools on the city's south side were placed in a hold and secure earlier today after a significant police presence converged near Arthur Street and Niebing Avenue. City police say they were responding to a call about a potentially injured person. Officers and cruisers could be seen around an Arthur Street hotel and at Westgate High School. Residents were asked to avoid the area while the search was undertaken, and the school boards were notified, leading to the hold and secure protocols at Westgate and St. Anne. Police found the person they were looking for early this afternoon. Few other details have been provided, but police say there is no threat to public safety. Local drivers can expect to see more transport trucks on the Thunder Bay Expressway and Highway 1117 next week as the city's designated truck route bylaw takes effect on October 1st. The move to get big trucks off of Dawson Road comes after City Council approved the DTR in June following years of debate. Jaden Billick has the details.
As of 12:01 a.m. next Monday, transport trucks heading across Canada will have to use the city's designated truck route. The long-awaited and debated DTR is expected to improve the overall safety along Dawson Road and West Arthur Street by rerouting heavy trucks onto Highway 1117. Commissioner of Infrastructure and Operations, Kayla Dixon, explains more about what this means.
Yeah, so what we're hoping is that you'll see the trucks that have been like cross-country traffic that takes Highway 102, they'll continue on Highway 1117 and follow the Trans-Canada Highway route. So you'll see more trucks along the Thunder Bay Expressway, basically from Red River Road to the Harbour Expressway.
Drivers will also see more signage in place, such as these billboards that are going up on the north and south ends of Thunder Bay. They remind truckers that Dawson Road and Arthur Street can be used for vehicles that weigh 28,000 kilograms or less. Big trucks can still use those roads for local deliveries. The MTO will also put up signs informing truck drivers where the designated route is and where to drive legally. Dixon asks for compliance from all transport operators when the bylaw becomes enforceable.
So lots of communication going out to, for example, the Ontario Truckers Association, some of these like truck industry associations, so that we can communicate directly with that cross-country traffic. But as well, we'll be getting information out locally so that both truck drivers locally, but as well as the public, understand what the designated truck route is and isn't, because trucks still have the ability to drive on those roads if they have a delivery there.
Dixon adds that City Police will be watching for DTR violators once the bylaw comes into force on October 1st.
So the enforcement is the responsibility of Thunder Bay Police, and so they will be, establishing that, as well as probably doing a couple blitzes as that bylaw is implemented.
Jaden Billick, TBT News.
Tissue samples taken last month from dead fish in the Cam River are still being analyzed, but according to the Ministry of the Environment, early findings suggest that excess solids in the discharge from Thunder Bay pulp and paper greatly reduced the oxygen in the water, which likely caused the deaths. The company halted operations following the heavy effluent release on August 22nd, which turned the water brown. The ministry issued a notice of violation and ordered the mill to cease all discharging until the issue was addressed. The plant resumed production on September 2nd after meeting the MOE's requirements. Fort William First Nation has advised its members not to eat fish from the Cam River, but the ministry says the discharged material shouldn't increase risk of contamination and that eating properly skinned fillets won't pose added health risks. Fort William, though, is also testing its own samples, but no findings have been released as of yet. Tempers flared at a public meeting in Shunia last night about a proposed battery energy storage system. Officials with Powerbank are planning a 400-megawatt facility on Mount Baldy Road, but nearby residents are concerned about major fires at the station and say most of them weren't even notified about the meeting last night. Jonathan Wilson reports.
So what we are proposing is a battery energy storage system, which is essentially intended to enhance the local grid reliability. And what it does is it charges electricity overnight when there's a low demand, and it discharges during the day during the peak demand times.
Despite the touted benefits for the region, residents at this open house contend the battery energy storage system proposed by Powerbank is unsafe, will create hardly any jobs after it's constructed, and will drive down property values on Mount Baldy Road and the surrounding area. Several attendees pointed out that a quick Google search revealed 15 fires at similar facilities in the past year.
Mainly our concerns are environmental. These things appear to be wildly unsafe. There's a lot of incidents with them, and essentially there's no benefit to anybody locally, any of the local residents.
One of our other major concerns is the fact that these things are notorious for catching fire and exploding, and for a residential street that has one way in, one way out, how do you expect to evacuate all those people, especially on a busy ski day when the ski hill potentially has hundreds of people there? It's an extremely unsafe location for something that is, prone to exploding and catching fire.
I mean, I wouldn't say that these sites are notorious for fires. As I mentioned, the safety standards over the past number of years have really advanced. Safety is something that's really paramount to Powerbank, so we are going to take all the safety concerns into consideration and work with fire services, authorities having jurisdiction, to make sure that all the community's concerns are addressed to the best of our ability.
Most of the attendees live on Mount Baldy Road, where this project is proposed for, and many of them say they never received the letters the company says it mailed out to all nearby residents regarding this open house.
Judging by the comments here, almost nobody was notified of this. It seems like the process was purposely rushed. I don't think they wanted much of a turnout here. And they basically haven't notified anyone. They're trying to rush this through without any scrutiny.
We understand that there is some, this is maybe new information that's being shared with them, so we are happy to answer their questions and alleviate their concerns to the best we can.
If Shunia Council endorses the $300 million project and the independent electricity system operator selects Powerbank's proposal for an energy contract next year, the project could be built and up and running by 2029. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
OPP are now providing details about an unplanned roadside barbecue this past weekend after a tractor trailer filled with packaged meat caught fire on Highway 11 near Rocky Bay First Nation. The blaze broke out around 3 o'clock Sunday morning. OPP confirmed the driver and a passenger in the vehicle escaped unharmed, but the tractor-trailer was completely destroyed. There were no hazardous goods on board. Passers-by, though, say the smell of cooked meat was very noticeable. The cause of the fire is still unknown. Well, Jolly St. Nick will visit Thunder Bay early once again this year as the city's Rotary clubs host the 33rd annual Santa Claus Parade in less than 2 months. This year's parade is set to roll on November 15th at 10 a.m. Organizations can sign up to enter a float now on the parade's website. Up to 20,000 people will line the parade route, which starts at Superstore, goes up Memorial, and ends at the Community Auditorium with a Santa meet and greet. Organizers are hoping to see more than 60 floats this year, and committee member Alan Coslow is encouraging participants to be as creative as possible.
There's no theme per se with respect to the float design, but the creativity that we've seen year after year is truly remarkable, and you really see the time and effort that organizations and corporations put into it just to highlight the season, and they have so many participants on the floats themselves that are just so excited to hand out candy to the kids along the route. It's truly an uplifting and warm feeling that you have watching and then participating in the parade.
Well, turning to weather now, and Haley, we know that fall officially began yesterday, but we still haven't really seen it here in Thunder Bay, at least not during the fall season.
Yeah, I know, it's a bit of a confusing time. Organizations are having to prepare for a Santa Claus parade. It's feeling like summer still. I'm wanting to wear my fall fashion. It's a whole mix, but truly it was a very warm day today, a high of 22. Now that's around 7 degrees above a seasonal high for this time of year, and it felt even hotter with a humidex of 25. Now in the morning we had a bit of a foggier morning, a bit of a slower start to our warm-up, so we didn't see the humidex play a factor until the afternoon. We did have a low of 10 early in the morning around 8 a.m. and the fog cleared around an hour after that. So not too bad. Winds very variable throughout the day, shifting but staying very light for the most part. And we had a mix of sun and cloud. There was quite a few clouds in the sky, but also a lot of breaks in those clouds to see that sunshine and enjoy it. Now, for when we look at the region, we'll see that Red Lake had a very warm day, matching that of Pickle Lake, Kenora, Dryden, and down in Atikokan now as well. Most of these places are seeing their high for the day right now. But humidex did play a factor up in Red Lake, making it feel up to 28. Now, Fort Frances, we predicted to reach that high as well, especially with the humidex, but was just a little bit shy of that. They're at 23 right now, which is their high, but their humidex making it feel 25, similar to what we experienced here in Thunder Bay today, but they're under very clear conditions, nice and sunny there. Now, Dryden is one of the interesting places on our map today because they did have some mist and fog in the morning, and they actually did see periodic light rain 7 and 9 in the morning, very localized, but they did see a little drizzle here and there. So to see them bump up and have a bit of a humidex making it feel around 26 is quite nice for them now. And then we start to see areas a little bit cooler. We see Armstrong at 19 right now, and they did have a high of 21 earlier in the day, but a mix of sun and cloud making those skies shift and flow throughout the day. We see 18 in Greenstone, and they had a high of 19, and their low was 13, so they didn't see too much of a temperature shift, but they are mainly sunny now, which is nice to see. Now, I'm going to focus again in on Wawa, as they also saw some light rain and drizzle, but they saw it through majority of their day. That means that they're only at 16 right now. They haven't been able to warm up as they've seen cloud coverage with those showers. They did have a high of 17 earlier. Sault Ste. Marie is currently at 17. They had heavy rain at midnight last night, but other than that, they just saw mist and clouds throughout the day today. As for Thunder Bay tonight, we should have a lovely evening as far as I'm concerned. Sure, it's a single-digit low, but we are expecting that for this time of year. We have to remind ourselves. Partly cloudy evening, fog patches after midnight, and that will be the trend for majority of the region. Fog, it's a mysterious time of year, as we were mentioning, Ryan. We don't know what to expect, but fog is in the forecast, that's for sure.
Okay, mysterious and confusing. All right, thanks a lot, Haley.
No problem.